closing the final Raw of one of the most chaotic years in company history, from the start of it still at near-peak Attitude Era numbers to the full rebuilding mode by the end, with gradual business swings rarely ever seen in the industry over a one-year period. The company in a special taping schedule to close 2002 in Oklahoma, with Raw on the night taped Saturday in the new Ford Center, followed by a SmackDown taping on Sunday to give the crew a week off over the holiday season before returning full-time to open 2003, kicking off Raw with Kane and Van Dam vs. 3-minute Warning in a tag match, going 4 minutes to a 2.8 opening quarter, as while the rating was among the lowest rated quarters recorded on Raw in nearly 5 years. In a contrast to last Monday hitting one of the lowest figures of the year, saw viewers per home increasing back substantially on the night, with the opening segment averaging 4.1 million viewers to actually make it the most watched opening quarter in 3 weeks, and with the show coming in front of an hometown crowd in the new building in Oklahoma. JR, with traumatic experiences to Vince McMahon's amusement in his last 2 visits to the city, was set to be in the center again, with an unexpected show-long angle building up to him headlining it in the ring, with JR outside the TV angle on the night making headlines during the week, with another official confirmation from the company on the upcoming TV returns of Austin and Rock in the near future, saying that they anticipate a massive start to 2003 with the deepest and most talented roster they perhaps have ever had, with him expecting both Rock and Austin to return prior to WrestleMania 19, with the company targeting the event as the potential launch of a new era, with the other name in addition to Hulk Hogan expected to show up in the near future, and Bill Goldberg commenting for the first time about the now public talk of him being in negotiations with the company to set up Goldberg vs. Rock as the WrestleMania headliner, responding to countless questions on his website chat about the potential deal, saying that the possibility of making the Rock-Goldberg match happen is currently up to Vince McMahon, and there is still some obstacles to overcome in negotiations before they can reach a deal, saying that in addition to Rock he will also like to wrestle Austin, Angle, Taker and Hogan again in the Georgia Dome rematch, with Raw setting up the unusual main event for the night, half an hour in with Bischoff, after hearing a comment made by JR during the commercial break on Eric, showing a flashback moment from the last show in Oklahoma featuring JR joining McMahon's club in November 2001, threatening to replace JR and King with Tony Schiavone and Jesse Ventura, in a comment designed to stir things up with a rare mention of both names on WWF television, before booking them to team up in the ring for the first time against Regal and Storm, in hopes of replicating JR's history of drawing massive numbers, with an initial good sign in the third quarter, seeing the segment jumping to an hour-high 3.3 rating with 4.8 million viewers. Building up into the first Royal Rumble of the brand extension era, Bischoff in the earlier segment prior to booking the main event tag match announced the rules for the split Rumble, with Raw and SmackDown each having 15 wrestlers in the match, with the winner challenging the champion of his own brand, with the event scheduled for January 19 from the Fleet Center in Boston pretty much selling out immediately when tickets were put on sale last Saturday, with JR on the night also announcing the first details on WrestleMania 19, with tickets set to go on sale on January 11 to the record crowd of close to 60,000 expected at Safeco Field, and after Batista vs. Spike closed the first hour to see it, despite averaging a near 5-year low 3 rating, due to a significant increase in viewers per home, averaging over 4.3 million viewers to outdraw 7 other hours of Raw in the current TV season, and with the hyped tag titles match still coming up in a surprise placement for the second highest profile segment of the night. The top of the hour quarter saw a Divas Christmas tag match going 3 minutes, followed by a Steiner interview responding to Hunter's challenge to enter the show into the 5 million viewers range. After a week of hype with the match promoted as the top segment for the show since being set up last Monday, The tag titles rematch of Booker and Goldust against Jericho and Christian was placed in an unusual time slot to go over the traditionally toughest half hour of the show between 10:15 to 4:45 p.m., after growing indications on both SmackDown and Raw on a change in viewing patterns for the longer two-segment matches after initial strong results for the experiment in late September to early October. The match, going 17 minutes through a commercial break over 2 quarters, was not able to offset the usual drop after the top of the hour quarter, but with interest in the match picking up as it went on, with the second half of it rebounding over 300,000 viewers to peak for the conclusion of Goldust pinning Jericho to retain the belts in an hour, averaging nearly 4.9 million viewers on the back of the 2 headline segments, coming up to make it the most watched 10 p.m. hour of Raw in over 2 months. Similar to last year, with the next first run Raw only set for January 6, 2003, next Monday is set to feature a Best of 2002 highlight show with the first televised showing of The Rock vs. Hogan WrestleMania 18 match promoted as the top attraction for the show, along with the Vegas TLC match from October, with the taped Raw on the night, with the benefit of editing and post-production seeing a notable segment that ended up not making the air with Sean O'Haire after months off television, with him being developed in the WWE image with massive potential as one of the targeted future headliners in the business, making his Raw debut in a heel Christmas skit only airing on the screen in front of the Oklahoma crowd before being taken out and not acknowledged during the TV broadcast 2 days later. And with the JR and King tag match set to close the show, Triple H opened the final quarter to call out Scott Steiner in the follow-up segment to their strong confrontation last Monday that resulted in the biggest viewership spike on Raw in months, kicking off the feud with strong intrigue on the way to their Rumble title match, with Hunter after responding to talk of him bailing out from Steiner's challenge, saying that he only backed down due to being a day after going 40 minutes against Michaels in the pay-per-view main event, saying that he's fully fit tonight in contrast to his legit medical condition, with Hunter after suffering a slight leg injury in the Raw match against Jeff Hardy on December 9 that got worse in the following weeks, resulting in a partial muscle tear in his right quad that will keep him out of the ring for the next 2 weeks, to create the scenario of the world champions of the two brands being out with injuries at the same time, with Angle and Hunter only set to return full-time by the Rumble pay-per-view, bringing out Steiner to the ring to make the challenge to an arm wrestling match, ending with Steiner swerving Hunter into thinking it's competitive before squashing him several times in the continuation of the strong Steiner build-up, with him continuing his streak as the biggest drawing difference maker on WWE television since his debut, with the segment gaining over 600,000 viewers to the most watched full quarter of the night with over 5.2 million viewers. Jerry Lawler and Jim Ross against Regal and Storm saw the entrances taking place already past 11 p.m. with the main event, despite the show being taped and formatted in advance, kicking off already minutes into the overrun, with JR after the last 2 major shows in front of his hometown crowd ending up personally memorable for him for the wrong reasons, with him getting beaten down by Steve Austin and joining Vince McMahon's Kiss My Ass Club, after perhaps expecting another Vince-driven rib when hearing about the plans for him to headline the first Ford Center Raw, instead seeing a swerve inside the swerve with him entering to a live performance from the Oklahoma University Band, followed by going over in the match to end the night in an all-time career highlight to a big reaction from the hometown crowd, while after getting the special moment from McMahon and with unexpectedly strong history of drawing power on television starting in March '99 with a promo segment that ended up the first full quarter to enter the 7 rating range to Blitz Nitro by a record margin, delivering big again with the tag match in the 10-minute overrun, gaining further from the Steiner-Hunter segment to peak the night with over 5.5 million viewers, the most watched Raw main event in 4 months, to end the year on a positive note heading into 2003.